My mom never needed a fancy cookbook or expensive ingredients to make food that felt unforgettable. Because somehow every meal she made carried warmth, comfort, and the feeling that everything was going to be okay no matter what kind of day we had. And it was just generally really good. And she had this ability to just basically throw stuff together and like just whatever we had, and she would make it into a meal. I still remember waking up to the smell of sausage gravy and biscuits drifting through the house early in the morning. And before I even got out of bed, I knew it was going to be a good day because her cooking had that kind of power. And the biscuits were never dry or anything like that. They were soft, they were buttery. They were perfect literally every single time. And when she poured that sausage gravy over them, it felt like the kind of meal people spend their whole lives trying to recreate. And my mom's chicken soup wasn't just soup to me, it was comfort in a bowl. Especially during cold nights or difficult times when life felt heavy or stressful, and somehow her cooking made everything feel lighter. And there was something about sitting at the kitchen table eating her chicken soup while hearing her talk about her day, and it just made me realize how much love can exist in the smallest moments. And I always talk about that, like in my videos, like, cherish the small moments and just cherish every little bit of your life because, tomorrow's never promised. But my mom could make spaghetti taste better than restaurants ever could. I mean, real clear your plate and go back for seconds immediately kind of spaghetti that people still talk about years later. And, that spaghetti sauce would simmer for hours and fill the entire house with a smell so good it felt impossible to stay patient while waiting for dinner. Even now, whenever I smell spaghetti cooking somewhere, it instantly brings me back to childhood memories of laughter, family conversations, and hearing plates clatter around the kitchen while everyone got ready to eat. The 4th of July at our house always felt special because my mom's hot chicken became the main event before the fireworks even started. Dude, she would make the best hot chicken, and she still does. This 4th of July, we're going to have hot chicken as well, and it's going to be freaking delicious. But, everybody would be outside celebrating, but somehow people still kept wandering back into the kitchen because they couldn't stop thinking about her cooking. And my mom never cooked to impress people or show off. She cooked because taking care of her family was one of the ways she expressed love. And I think that's why every meal tasted so meaningful. There's a huge difference between food that fills your stomach and food that fills your soul. And my mom always made the second kind. And I don't think she realizes how many memories she actually created just by standing in the kitchen making meals for all of us throughout the years. It really meant a lot to me, and she really taught me like how to cook and how to make stuff from nothing. And I just developed that skill where I could just throw stuff together and make the best food possible just from whatever we had in the kitchen. But some families, they bond over vacations or expensive experiences, but honestly, some of my favorite memories came from simply sitting around the dinner table eating food my mom made with love. Her cooking turned ordinary nights into moments that still stay with me years later. And, one thing I'll always appreciate is how consistent she was, because no matter what stress she was carrying or what struggles life threw at her, she still found ways to make sure everybody ate good. And looking back now, I realize those meals represented stability during times when life didn't always feel stable. And, she really held down the fort for us and really, made every day count and really taught us a bunch of stuff about life that's really important. And even now, she's teaching me about, to be healthier and stuff like that, when I'm really grateful for that. But my mom, she could literally take simple ingredients and somehow turn them into something unforgettable. And I honestly think that's a talent people underestimate. It wasn't just the food itself either. It was the atmosphere she created around it, where everyone felt welcome, safe, and they felt connected, and everyone just generally felt at home. Some of the best conversations I ever had with family happened while eating her cooking at the kitchen table late at night. We used to do a thing where we would do Sunday dinners. For a while, we were watching The Walking Dead, and we would do Sunday dinners And every Sunday she would make something awesome. She even went vegan for a while, which I thought was crazy, but it was generally just a really good time. And I'll always remember those nights at the Chippendale house and like the cookouts and all of that stuff. It was a really memorable experience, and we would sing on the back porch and just do a lot of fun stuff. And I'll never forget that. We had so much fun, and we had a trampoline. There was a pool, all that good stuff, and we would always have that meal, and we would always have a good meal to eat because she would always cook. I remember hearing pots and pans moving around the kitchen while she cooked, and the sounds became a part of what home felt like to me. Like even to this day, like when I'm laying down and I hear the sound of dishes clanking, I feel safe and secure, and I think it goes back to that place of existence, just like you know, just laying there and hearing that sound. It reminds me of her, and it reminds me of home, and it makes me feel at home. Her cooking gave people reasons to gather together, to laugh together, and to spend time together in a world that moves way too fast sometimes. And there's something powerful about knowing someone put time and effort into making food just because they wanted you to feel cared for. And my mom's food always tasted homemade in the best possible way. It was never rushed, it was never cold, and it was never without heart. She always put her love into her cooking, and it's a really big part of her existence. She does a lot more like healthy stuff nowadays, but it's still really good cooking, and yeah, I wouldn't trade that for the world. I honestly think part of growing up is realizing how much your parents sacrificed quietly without asking for recognition. And, my mom probably saw those meals as normal everyday things, but to me, they became core memories that I'll carry forever. And, I still remember grabbing plates before dinner and hearing everybody get excited because we already knew the food was about to be incredible. And even leftovers from my mom's cooking somehow tasted amazing the next day, which honestly feels like a superpower. And, her sausage, gravy, and biscuits could probably heal emotional damage at this point because they were that comforting. And when life gets stressful now, I catch myself thinking about those meals because they remind me of simpler times and the feeling of being taken care of. And, food has a weird way of attaching itself to emotions and memories. And my mom's cooking is connected to some of the happiest moments of my life. And, the older I get, the more I realize how lucky I was to grow up with homemade meals made by someone who genuinely cared. And I just want to throw this in there. I think a lot of people, really love just home cooked meals in general, and just, being home with family and eating good food and creating memories and stuff like that. I think it's a really huge part of a lot of people's lives. Because, home is where the heart is, and, we create some of the best memories around the dinner table. I even have like a plaque on the wall, or like a decoration thing, and it literally says the best memories are created when gathered around the table, and I really agree with that, because that's absolute truth, and good conversations and just reminiscing on life and stuff like that. Like, it's a really good experience. But every holiday, like, dude, on the holidays, they felt so much more complete because of her cooking, and the summer cookouts where everybody was laughing, eating, and enjoying the moment together. Like, I'll never forget those moments. And her hot chicken on the 4th of July, dude, it is so good. But that kind of became part of the tradition itself. Like, it wouldn't even feel like the holiday without it. And there's something beautiful about family recipes and meals becoming a part of a family's identity over time. Because, I mean, it really is a core part of our existence. But, yeah, I just wanted to share that memory with you guys. And, yeah, I'll see you in the next one.